coming in hot off of 3 days in a row. They should give me a belt for this. Last man standing every damn night at Mile High. You couldn't take me down with a tranquilizer gun if you wanted to. Fueled on bumps and bowls and joints and all the whiskey and good and bad whiskey in the world. I'll talk about that. It was a great time. I mean, I came out there to go hang out with Dan Bay and support him. And we were going to work on our stuff. We're bringing back for codenamed summer camp coming back. And Melba, I have 3 fears that I don't ever want to manifest. And one of them he has, which is a kidney stone, and really bad. And he was just, I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he spoke from stage. He cut off 5 minutes early, but it's pretty bad. I guess it's lodged 5 millimeters mid urethra. Going to need more aggressive approach. So he's going to have to go under and get his dick, played with.
Well, no, it's higher up than that, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think they go in through the pee-pee hole.
Ugh.
Yeah. So much more easy to be a chiropractic
You're
woman,
not supposed to go in the outdoor.
How was
It was okay. It was pretty mellow. My husband was out of town, so I just I did go to an art fair, which was really cool, downtown Atlanta, which was really awesome. And I went to some estate sales and got some new dresses for like nothing. So I'm all excited about that.
I love it. Well, I got to spend my time in Mile High. Like I said, last man standing. I went there to see Bay, but ended up rekindling some relationships. I got to see Jimmy Jam, James Chester, for the first time in years.
I spoke with him this morning also.
He was lit up as always, and got to meet someone I think I'm really impressed with. 2 people that really stood out that spoke this weekend was Kim Thor Adams, who was just ultra impressive. There's a reason she's dominating and taking over. She's fearless. She's relentless.
What did she talk about?
She talked about the bullshittery of like keeping yourself quiet, which I think is like part of her game plan. So, don't be quiet. Don't be afraid. Be fearless. Yeah. And then Cornell Zeus, man, one of only 2 black guys that were there, so I'm sure, him and Frank Vaughn get confused around. They look nothing alike though, but that's the one problem in our profession right now is lack of color. We can talk about that if we want to. But the big thing that I want to jam on today.
Maybe lack of color on the stage, because I know that at Life they have a very...
Lack of color on the stage. Definitely, dude. Definitely. But here's the big thing. I told everyone, I prepped them that this episode, that Twisty's going to solve the chiropractic board's dilemma for everyone, so they can shut up, stop whining, stop being I don't know when the straight chiro turned into the Libratard of our profession, but they are
so
whining.
Intrigued.
They are whiny little bitches now that victimize everything. And it's about take care of me and do this, and you don't do this right. They're the Libratards now, dude. They're
judging.
The judgy McJudgersons of fucking chiropractic.
Oh,
that
so
ain't
give
chiropractic.
me some examples.
Well,
don't name names. Just give me an example of words.
That ain't chiropractic. That's the first. That's the first line. Yeah, that ain't chiropractic. Well, what? That's why I'm saying chiropractic is fucking everything. Let's stop thinking small. Let's stop putting baby in the corner, right? Let's stop trying to have a Dewey Decimal definition system. Let's just take over everything so that we are everything, So, the big gripe now, they sent students up there to go protest up in Greeley. You're from around that way. So everyone's bitching about the board prices going up and having centralized location for testing. Go ahead.
So I saw your post and I'm like, well, I need to prepare myself for this today, since obviously you never prepare me for what we're going to talk about.
Never.
It's just hitting him from the pitching mound.
Yeah.
But I did actually go to the board site, and that is totally not true, dude. Like, yes, that is a site, but there's like 7 sites. Almost every chiropractic
So I didn't even know this.
university-
All they're saying is that they're going to have one site. That's the thing they keep bitching about.
No, let me go to my other browser.
While you're doing that.
Here we go. I'm already there. So
go.
Northwestern, Palmer, both Palmers, Parker, Southern California University, Western States, Life, West, Cleveland University, they all do part 4, because I was like, well, maybe they only do part 4 in Greeley. Nope, they do them in all those places I just mentioned. And they also do part 1, 2, and 3 in all those places, as well as a testing lab, not any computer testing lab. I would have to look
now.
This
The
one
argument
up
I'm
again.
going to say on this side, though, they're trying to say is that I think that they want to make part 4s only in Greeley, Colorado, which I'm going to say this is, no one's out there. Look, and you had, one president from Sherman there at Mile High this weekend. No one's saying, hey man, we're not going to take that federal board loan money all the time for our schools. I just love that we don't, no one's jumping out there going, hey, we're going to give free tuition away all the time. And we're not going to make money as a nonprofit. I mean, the system at the beginning is really what they should be bitching about. But, they got to suck each other's dicks off and make presidents and keep other presidents out of president, all the real board issues. But here's my Twisty board manifesto. Here's what I want to think. I would keep the boards expensive and centralized. I want to put pressure and weed out the weak. If you can't handle 5K exam and flight, how the hell are you going to survive payroll, malpractice, running a clinic? And here's my answer, because I'm a true fucking capitalist, and I'll be the first person to stand up. And this, you heard it here first, because no one's smarter than me when it comes to fucking solving shit. Make the vendors pay. If they're going to bleed you later, they should sponsor you up front. Tuition chunks, exam vouchers, startup packages, loyalty baked in. And, I always say this, Steph Curry doesn't drive a fucking Kia, but he gets paid by Kia a lot of money to promote Kia. We are becoming, in a world where, in my favorite game, our favorite thing is wrestling. There's fucking sponsors everywhere in the mat. It's disgusting to me, but it is what it is. And if you really care, build parallel education. Forget free schools. They get killed by accreditation policies. Instead, create institutes that teach the real shit. Sales, closing, community building. Stop waiting on the ACA and ICA to hold hands. Patients don't care about acronyms, and turn choke points into leverage. Every toll booth is an opportunity. Let's learn to flip it. The goal isn't to kill the boards. It's to make the boards irrelevant to your success. And that's ultimately what I came out of this, when I came back into chiropractic, it was because the average doctor chiropractor 5 years in was unsuccessful. And you can't blame anyone but themselves. And I think the biggest problem that we have, Melba, is, and you're close to, a lot of people came up to me this week and go, I love your show with Melba. And the next question they asked is, what does her husband think? You're very close to this. So you have some good, I think probably points or counterpoints even maybe to what I'm saying, but you can't blame the schools. The schools are designed to get you to where you need to get to. You can't bitch about the boards because they should be weeding out the weak, in my opinion. There's a whole woman who's designed her career in helping people pass the boards, a legend in this space, Irene Gold. But maybe we've gotten people that shouldn't get past the boards, because I'll tell you the amount of retards
we do have people that can't get past the boards.
But the amount of retards I see getting through is shocking to me. That is the problem. And there is now going to be a demand shortage, which actually should make you happier and more excited if you're a chiropractor, because you should be raising your fees because they're not enrolling in chiropractic. So that to me is part of the good news, because they rather go to PT school because it's cheaper and it's less years and it's easier to get out of. But I don't want fucking retards getting through. And that's the Twisty take. What are your thoughts?
Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. And frankly, there are no retards passing boards, because you have to be pretty intelligent, honestly, to get through it. But I think in the end,
I will fight. We can have a retard battle.
Are there people that aren't very good at being social or being good business people? I'm definitely going to agree. Are there people that are not good at
What about people just not getting good at results for people?
I mean, there's plenty of docs out there that have million-doctor practices that are great at personality and terrible at chiropractic.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely,
there's people that are more results-based and there's people that are more money-based, But you have to have that board. You have to have some standard, because if we're going to be in the medical world, that's honestly just the way that it is, unfortunately. And
so how about that alternative take? How about getting out of that? Is there any possibility
that's not going to happen? That's
happen.
unrealistic.
Right.
That's not even a pipe dream, because we fought so hard to get into that space, and now we're there, and we just have to pay for the consequences of that, honestly. But I don't think it's bad either, because I think there should be a baseline standard of what people know. So that way, if you're looking at the consumer, I think the consumer should have a pretty good idea as a baseline anyway, that when they go see a licensed chiropractor, that they are qualified at this basic level, just like if they're going to go see any other healthcare practitioner that has to take some level of a test or a board, that they qualify at that standard level, and saying, what kind of a thing am I going to get? What do they know? What don't they know? Because of passing that board, that they at least know XYZ.
Yeah. Well, I have a lot of people that agree with me and some people that don't, but I guess apparently the Libratard of the profession is this rate Chiro, and people are agreeing with that for the most part. I don't care if you agree or not. It's my opinion. Melva
We're
just
all
did
allowed to have those. You know
Melva
what
just
they
had
say.
what? What did they say, Melva? Did you just take a bump? What was that?
Oh, I have a tissue. You're terrible. But you know, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
Yeah. And I think that that's the future. Chiropractors should be doing more the Logan Basic anyways, right? We should be going up more
That's funny. I
assholes.
actually just met somebody that went to Logan for the first time over the weekend.
Did he do it?
He didn't really know what I was talking about. And I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
a
I don't even know
shame.
what Logan Basic is.
That's a shame. We can't lose the art of the Logan Basic.
Well,
But
not every state allows orifice
yeah.
exploration.
Yeah. Well, here was a fight. I gotta get the video content of this. I'm gonna try to get her to send it to me. But a couple other people I love who I got to hang out with was Ange and Caleb. Dr. Caleb, who's now helping on the pediatric side, took MLS. I loved hanging with Dr. Wade, who's taken over for Arno. I might, fingers crossed, finally have my technique partner. We're gonna go down that rabbit hole. I've been waiting for. I just can't seem to lock in a technique partner, and it's the last missing link to what I do and promote.
Who teaches technique?
Yeah, who teaches tech. I've had Corin. My dad's buddies with Corin, but Ted's not actually running Corin at KST. It's two other guys now, and we were super close to doing something after Parker, and kind of just fell through. And there's a couple other people that pushed me towards a couple other dudes. I don't really like their programs. So it's the other thing is it's finding the right program. I do love what they're doing at MLS. So an anchor of what I believe in, which is tree love and service, right? I think they'll be good fits. Hopefully we get something cooking on there. So I got to hang out with Caleb. But while we're there, Aunt Patty, as I like to call her, Patty Giuliani, was there. The second night, I was loaded up. I mean, I was loaded on everything, and I was cracking people up, telling them the story of the time that I broke my dick. And how blood just came running out, and I went into the shower, and the fact that it was actually a Harvard-trained OBGYN who not only broke it, but also as a Harvard-trained OBGYN, the first person she calls is her urologist friend, who's like, hey, I'm in church right now. What can I, called her multiple times because she wasn't answering. What can I help you with? I think I just broke my boyfriend's penis. Get him to the hospital. Was her answer. So I'm telling this story, and Zeus is there, and Andrews just keep taking reactionary shots of his face every time he's hearing me tell another story. So I got to get that video because it's more worth it for seeing his reactions. It was a good crew that night. We stayed up after the party, telling those jokes and shit like that. We got into that discussion about student enrollment and what we need to do. I didn't make a lot of people happy there because I looked at through the lens of money and capitalism, because I think that's the lens that you have to look through things through, versus we just gotta tell the story and love, and I believe in all that. There's no one that believes more in love than me, but it's money that gets things done. If we want to start working with people, and this is what I proposed, is that we start supporting homeschooled organizations and putting money into those organizations, because that tends to be a like-minded audience. We're seeing that, and I'm seeing that in the patient space for Chiros, that a lot of them have homeschooled families. I believe you follow, like,
that's a good idea.
Who makes the best chiropractors? Typically it's CAs, right? That go through. I mean, that's what we've always learned has usually been the great flow to the schools. Who makes the greatest CAs? Chiropractic patients. So why not put the money and put it into supporting like-minded organizations? And that's where you can groom. Yes, I'm going to use that word. Start them before, like how the world used to work with apprenticeships.
Plant seeds.
Plant seeds is fine. That's cool. I'm cool with grooming. I'm also cool calling people fags and retards and going back to the 90s and talking like normal fucking human beings and being able to be cool with each other and make fun of each other because you're black, you're Spanish, I'm a gringo. Like, I'm so sick of this shit. Everyone fucking protecting each other. My wife now, who's a staunch, even more of a conservative than fucking me now, is learning you can't keep friends with the people that were dumb liberals before because they can't fucking take jokes because everything's got to be protected. So anyways, you like that idea? Let's groom, plant seeds with the homeschooled people.
No, I think that's a really good idea. Here's something that I learned though as an observer. I think the biggest thing that drives enrollment at any chiropractic school is going to be the teams that are there to enroll and the support and the leadership and the support through leadership that the teams have. And I think that applies, obviously for any business or industry, because teams that are supported, valued, and praised are going to be the most successful teams versus ones that are not supported, not valued, and not praised. They don't want to do their job. So you need to inspire people to inspire others, right? And if chiropractic is super inspirational, which we all know that it is, people need to be inspired to put other people into this field. If they're not feeling valued and praised and inspired, like I said, then, what kind of energy are they putting out there when they're going to these recruiting events?
Yeah. Well,
When
I
they're doing
had
the
the
school
luxury
tours.
of dating an ex-recruiter for Sherman and saw her tenacity and the outreach and service she did there. So obviously that front line is super important.
She was very, you're right. And she was very into it. And I'm just kind of generally speaking. Because I can say that teams that I've been privy to have information about, when they've had the leadership that supports them, they succeed more.
Yeah. I think that what do you think the school's role is? Is it what I get them through and get them prepared?
That's 100% the school's role, because
that's it.
Because you can't practice if you don't pass boards. And you can't pass boards if you don't have the education to give you the information to fill out the circles and the dots, and everybody's like blaming schools, for not teaching them how to run a business. Well, if you want to learn how to run a business, go get a master's in business.
Yeah,
I know that some schools. Well, I'm just saying, and sometimes you could do it concurrently. I know that Life actually offers a master's in business now, and it's unfortunate that. Fortunate. I say that, don't dog me for it. That we don't have these big, huge conglomerates that are already there to give us jobs, and we're not mainstream. That is an unfortunate part of the reality that we have to face. A lot of us do have to go through the hard knock life of business, but there's also resources out there to teach people how to run a business. And I think that if more young docs or more students recognize that, instead of expecting somebody else to do it for them, I think there's a lot of that out there. I think that there's a lot of that out there. I think that a lot of people just expect somebody else to do it. Well, I did all of this work. You mean I have to do more? Yeah, I always tell people, I'm like, it's hard. You think this is hard? Wait till you get out of school.
That's what I'm saying.
Life is way harder.
And that's why I think the answer of going to the vendors, and that will help weed out the better vendors is here, here's, and I'm going to have probably a live argument with Steve Tullius, my handsome friend from over at Waitlist Workshops, who got awarded something cool there as being like the something best of, not best DC. I don't know what the award that he got, but it basically was he's a warrior behind the scenes, which Steve is. A battler, but we disagree on this, and he doesn't know my answer yet, so he assumes what my answer is going to be, which is the same thing most of these guys think it is just give in. And I'm not saying give in, but either get on the bus with them, like stop bullshit bitching about fucking Carlos and what Carlos is doing at the boards, or get involved with him, or get on the fucking board and be part of the conversation, because that's one answer. The second answer is that, what, vendors can pay. That I'd be happy to pay. I bet Steve, and I'll put my money where my mouth is. You want to put money up to help cover these people in their travel and sponsor them? I'll do that. I was doing that when I launched Chiro Sushi. I was helping students and bringing them to Sherman and paying for them before. That built my relationship with a lot of them before that.
Well, I think creating a scholarship system for that would probably be a better idea than straight out sponsorship that paid for everybody. Because
I want to fucking own their ass, dude. No, I want to own
scholarships. But here's the thing, like, you know how it is. If you don't pay, you're not invested.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like putting it so we just got a new mattress, and I'm trying to get rid of this.
How'd you guys like trying it out?
No
I learned some new positions this weekend from people. Chiropractors have some of the best sex positions. That's why, if you're a patient of chiropractic, that's what I'd be asking my chiropractor about, different sex positions.
But let me get to my point before you go off on your little sexual tangent here, because I know you love to talk about sex and you're a man and I get it.
Yeah.
But I put a price tag on it on Facebook Marketplace because I was like, well, instead of throwing away, I'm sure there's somebody out there that wants a semi-used clean mattress. But I was like, I didn't put it for free. You know why? Because you get a billion hits on it and nobody shows up.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can't just give shit away for free because then there's no value. It's the same thing with chiropractic care. You're just talking about raising prices, right? So if you don't have a foot in the door, that's not what I mean. But if you don't have skin in the game.
I got guys there. I got a dude who's looking for, if anyone has a Spanish speaking chiropractor out it wants to be associate in New York area. Some of these docs are doing $37 to $40 a visit. It's killing me. It's killing me.
My God.
I know. I don't know. So I'm excited about your care plan program that we got. We got to go work on here in the next minute. So we're going to close this out. This is an exciting show today.
That was fast.
Digestible. We're trying to be about a half an hour. People said that. I was asking surveys about that. Like, what's a good time frame? They're like, I like a half an hour. I'm like, well, that's perfect.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Hey, we got some people that want to be guests on here. Here's the rules.
Exciting.
I got to swear. Melba's already said you got to be not afraid to swear. You're going to have to go down and talk shit about people and not hold back. You have to go down. You have to go down under and just stop. So, awesome show. Let me know if you guys if you can leave reviews for this on Spotify, all that cool shit. If you want to be a guest, you can hit me up at twisty@thespiz.com and we can decide if you're worthy. But thanks for joining us today. We'll jam later.
Thanks.
Bye, Mo.
Peace.